Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning into the Sports Distraction Podcast. Up top, business section. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, and follow us on Spotify Podcasts. Follow the Twitter and Instagram at sports_pod100 and interact with the posts. 5-star on anything. I don't know how to check the numbers on anything, but make sure they're good.
It's like a karma thing. We'll know it in our heart that you did it.
Yeah. I'll sleep well, wake up knowing. But it's like since bridging to like Apple Podcasts and Spotify, nobody's fucking with the YouTube anymore.
Yeah, I guess we were gonna get 100 views.
Yeah.
And we got 6.
Yeah. Well, because it's like, oh, I don't have to sit here and fucking have the video open. Of course I'm gonna just
exactly.
I mean? Go to a different medium. But that's good.
It's good, but how do we get money from the other mediums?
How would we get money from YouTube? I don't know how to.
They pay you once you get to a certain level.
Yeah, like partner or whatever the fuck. Listen, man, if I was trying to get money, I wouldn't have started a podcast.
Well, that's like kind of the...
Well, it's like...
hopefully the end result here.
Well, yeah, but it's kind of like looking at like, oh, Taylor Swift can do it. Then
yeah, you don't expect to...
There's a...
To just be getting paid instantly.
Yeah, there's a billion podcasts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
There's
exactly
thousands and thousands of podcasts with a dozen patrons and shit. So
we
ain't there yet. Hee hee hee. But how have you been, my man?
Oh, pretty good. Not very much basketball going on this past week, but we did get the AllStar Game.
How did you enjoy the AllStar Game?
I didn't watch it the night of. I watched it the next night.
Nice.
Just because of shit, whatever. I enjoyed the 3-point contest.
Yeah. And that's
that
it?
Like weird rally, like the
skills competition.
Yeah, the skills competition. That's just kind of like,
that sucks.
Whatever. Like good point. Stavros made a good point where it's just like, it's a bunch of shit that I could do. Like, why the fuck are they doing a bunch of shit that I can do?
Yeah, why are we
it's boring as shit.
Why are we doing like a weird rec league drill that like my friend's dad is teaching the 7-year-olds? You know what I mean?
It's slow as shit, and it like do something crazy. Like you're an NBA player.
Yeah.
You should be doing crazy shit.
You're an NBA player. Chest pass through this hoop, do a layup, and do a 3-pointer.
Yeah, like what?
Who the fuck?
Who can do it quicker? And you're shooting on the same hoop, so like it's more dependent on playing like the game bump, than actual skill.
Yeah,
it's like, well,
I'd like to see that at NBA.
I don't know.
Put that in the All-Star break game. Is the NBA players playing bump or like horse or 21 or some shit?
Horse could be crazy.
Yeah, because some people. It'd just be like, oh, Dame and Steph.
Well, that's what I was about to say. In the game,
yeah, they were
Steph and Lillard. I shouldn't do it that way. That was dumb. But Curry and Lillard do more impressive shots than in the skills competition.
Yeah, because no one would have
by far, like way more impressive.
No one would have understood if you just left it at Steph and Lillard. You had to.
I don't know. I was just like, why did I do that? I named the one guy by his first name, the other guy by his last name. That's weird.
Is his last name Steph? What? I'm confused. It's only geniuses that listen to this podcast.
Yeah,
but
I understand people get it, but it's just a dumb way of saying it.
Yeah,
but if you can see more impressive things during the All-Star Game, which is like kind of whatever, then you got to up your skills competition.
Yeah.
Your skills competition.
Well, like my thing is like, who gives a fuck about the All-Star Game? Why are they still doing an All-Star Game? Why is like, the players aren't interested. The fans don't really give a fuck.
Last year they were interested. Like last year they tried.
No, like, but I think it's just like a steady decline of like, I think LeBron only played like 12 minutes. He's like, fuck this, man. Like, who cares?
Well, he's like, well, I kind of fucked up 2 shots and a
Mm-hmm.
slam dunk, so it's just like, okay, I'm done. Someone
Yeah,
else can try. I suck right
yeah,
now.
this ain't for me. But then like it's so on. I feel like in a given year, it's pretty like kind of bullshit. But especially this year with like COVID and everything,
Oh yeah, like Kevin
it's like
Durant was out,
yeah, it's like who gives a like
and Embiid was out as well.
Embiid and Simmons got their hair cut by a barber who had
Yes,
COVID-19.
exactly.
Yeah,
And they got screwed. Yeah,
which is
Embiid.
very
Like I want to see Embiid there because I think he's going to be the MVP
MVP of the season or All-Star
the
MVP.
season.
Yeah, I think the case has to be made for James Harden MVP. The way he's playing and changed his game on Brooklyn, it's just because they have so much fucking talent. You can't be, you know what I mean? That's like how they used to just give it to the best guy on the best team. That's like that kind of thinking would be like would give it to Harden, but yeah, people say like it should go to like LeBron and Steph, and just give it to Embiid, man, or Jokic. I don't fucking know.
Well, don't you feel like Embiid's the type of guy that's like, yeah, I don't really give a shit about anybody. I'm gonna try as hard as I can.
I don't know if
actually play hard in the All-Star game.
I think he's honestly just like a true entertainer. Is Embiid? He's just like he's like in Nick Nurse's book. He's like when we played him, he had that like game where he kept doing the fucking airplane celebration. He's like the game after that Toronto played. It's like I don't give a shit if Tobias Harris gets fucking 30 open looks in the first half, like double Embiid. Embiid isn't getting a fucking point in the first half. And like he ended with like in that game, he had, I think, 2 points in the first half off of free throws. So it's like, because he so much feeds off like the audience and like the moment of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He gets in-game momentum.
Yeah. Like he's like a wrestler.
So it can be like exponential. So if you don't stop it, it's just like, oh, here we go. I'm going off.
I'm gone. Yeah.
See you later.
But,
and he's so strong and so big.
Well, he's just a giant. He's fucking humongous.
So big.
You can't do anything. Like I was watching.
He can move.
Yeah, I watched the game that comes to mind is the Sixers-Lakers game. When like I'm like, oh hey, the Lakers still have Gasol, like maybe like the Lakers will probably win this. But Gasol doesn't really have his number anymore. Embiid is just improving, like you say, exponentially as a player.
You just have a better coach, so
yeah, I think Doc Rivers, like he knows how to play these two guys. And like
it's just
well, do you remember like even like a year or two ago when it's like, oh, you got to trade one of them, and then there's like the dickheads who are like, I would keep Simmons. It's like you're fucked.
Yeah, the guy who can't shoot, keep him.
A 6'10" basically plays as a guard that cannot like shoot from the perimeter. It's like let's build around this guy. But
it's insane to me that the guy can't shoot.
Yeah. One last thing I did want to say about the All-Star game was my favorite part was all the guards dunking. Like Kyrie had 2 dunks, Chris Paul had a dunk, Steph dunked, Lillard dunked.
Well, that's another good thing about the All-Star game is you can see people do things they don't normally do.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I want it to be you either go full this game matters or full we're having fun. You know what I mean? So like I almost don't want to see people going try hard and like doing like because that's why Giannis got All-Star MVP because he was the only one. He
didn't miss.
Well, he didn't miss, and because he was like the only one legitimately trying. I feel.
And then the other thing too, like he's taking it in, and like there's a guy who's an all-star who's wide open. It's like, dude, I'm wide open.
Yeah, it's
the fuck.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple times when he had fucking like the Lillard at the corner, like, okay,
here I am.
What's up, man? What are we doing?
Pass it to me.
Yeah,
don't be a dick.
Overall, it was fun. The dunk contest was kind of shit too. Did you watch that?
Yeah, the dunk contest was the worst I've ever seen. This is another thing. Like, yeah, it's great to have the like fans vote in players and shit.
Yeah.
But then the NBA kind of has to step in and go, oh, we have to bring in the best
I don't think
players for each event.
Well,
You can't just bring in whoever.
There was no the fan vote didn't decide the dunk contest. I think the Players Association does or some shit.
No, I'm just saying, like, the fans voted in all the players that were in the All-Star game, correct?
Yeah, but then the Anthony Simons, Obi Toppin, and Cassius Stanley weren't in the All-Star game. They were just there for the dunk contest.
Really?
Yeah, Cassius Stanley averages like fucking 6 minutes a game or some shit. Like he hardly plays.
So where the fuck is Gordon then?
I think, well, after he got snubbed last year, he's like, fuck you. He legitimately said, like, I'm not doing another dunk contest.
Oh, okay. That's understandable, I guess.
Well, because, like,
yeah,
we're gonna be the grumpy old men, old head bastards, but we're like, oh, that Levine Gordon dunk contest is the best one ever.
Oh my God, it's so good.
They should have just
so good.
Well, and then like you go on Twitter and like, oh, how young is Twitter that they think that was the best dunk contest? It's like, dude, I've watched like because they had like top 50 dunks in the past.
Well, that's exactly it.
However many years.
Yeah, you can go back as far as you want. Yeah, and look at dunks.
Well, I think the Vince Carter 360 windmill, that one's incredible.
Because that was like when you see something for like the first time.
Yeah, that's the thing. I forget who said it, but it's like there's this one, like the one that Simons did, the Tracy McGrady dunk that he imitated for his second dunk, where he like touches the ball to his feet and then like clutches for like the reverse slam. That like I feel like everyone on the sidelines could do that. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine dunk contest was the first one I've seen where it's like no one can do this shit that they're doing right now.
The guy Gordon looked like he could have pulled out a newspaper and a pipe and sat in mid fucking air 9 feet and just chilled. Like he's literally in a chair in the air.
His ass is fucking 8 feet
above
off the ground.
Guy's the mascot.
Yeah.
It's like, holy crap.
That like
what am I looking at here?
That's easily the best dunk contest dunk of all time. I don't like.
I'm like, my brain melted.
I literally do not give a fuck if you can dunk from the foul line. It's I can jump far and high. It's like, okay, that's very impressive, but like nothing will compare to that. Like
it's
underneath
the most
his
impressive
butt.
thing. Yeah, it's the most impressive thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was the most impressive thing, not just in the dunk contest. It's the craziest physical feat I've ever seen in my life.
Like an athlete, like, okay, going back to Carter.
Yep.
To me, that's similar to when Tony Hawk landed the 900 for the first time.
Yeah.
And people were like, holy shit.
He just
how can you spin that many times?
How can you spin 2.5 times in the air?
And now tons of people have done it.
Well, there's a guy that just did it in the mega ramp competition this past year. I think he did a 1400. So he did like 4 spins in the air.
But that's when you get shot like 20 feet in the air for like.
That's how Hawk did it. He did it in like the big vert dish.
Oh, isn't the mega ramp the thing where you like.
Yeah, the mega ramp, you clear like it's something like a 30-foot gap, and then you go into the big dish, like the big vert. It's like
so when he went up the lip, he did it.
Yeah, he didn't do it across the...
I see. Yeah. But yeah, it's just like...
But then
now people can do it, right? So you're like, whatever. So, but when you have to give respect to that person who first did it.
Well, that's the thing. I feel
then.
like there's almost like a diminishing return on this shit where it's like the crazier it gets, like the less I give a shit. You know what I mean?
You care about the newest thing every time.
Yeah, well, like you go at like I don't even know how to describe it. Like you say with skateboarding, like when Danny Way, like the mega ramp is based off the ramp he built to jump over the Great Wall of China. So like when he did that, it's like, oh, it's over. So like Vince Carter, 360 windmill, it's over. And then it's like, okay, that's great. I'm gonna have to be super fucking wowed to think that again, for it to be over, kind of thing.
You gotta one up it. You gotta come up with something. I don't know what you're gonna do, but
yeah, Aaron Gordon did that with the fucking underneath the butt, sitting in the air dunk. And like seeing the Carter dunk. I'm like, I'm never gonna think that about another dunk until it happens. You know what I mean?
I have no. It's so exciting because I have no idea how someone could possibly one up that Gordon dunk.
Yeah, it's like
How could you do it?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I didn't like last year's because like I don't know, like people were using too many props and shit, and I'm like, I just do a good dunk. You know what I mean?
Right. Use your body.
Yeah.
To
like,
do something crazy.
Yeah.
Use your athleticism.
Yeah. Do like something that I can like any fucking dickhead can put on a pair of glasses and be like, oh, I'm
Dexter.
I'm Dexter from Dexter's Lab, and I'm dunking. He.
Yeah.
Do you know that? Oh, I'm the fuck. I'm trying to think of like an outdated.
Superman.
I'm trying to think of an outdated meme. Fuck.
Somebody with glasses?
No, I'm trying to think of a better example. Oh, I'm the Coffin Dance. I'm doing the dunk over like the Zambian guys. I'm doing a dunk over that, right? It's like, yeah, who gives it? Like when Blake dunked over a car, it's like, who gives a fuck? He like jumped over the hood of a car, of like a whatever, like a Kia or like a Maybach or whatever the fuck.
Like you said, the only difference between someone jumping from the free throw line and dunking and someone jumping over the hood of the car and dunking is that there was a car there.
Yeah, you're just
the same dunk.
There's something occupying the empty space beneath you.
Just like, holy crap! It's just like, yeah, he just did the exact same thing.
Yeah, well, I guess to be fair, I did think Obi Toppin, that windmill over top of Julius Randle and his dad, was pretty sick. That was a pretty good. I think that might have been my favorite dunk from the contest.
What about the one over Taco Fall?
That was last year.
That was last year?
What?
Dang, I got it mixed up.
That was Aaron Gordon did that again. That was actually a very hey, for all the real podcast heads, when you described that the first time, you had a voice crack. And you said he climbed Mount Taco, but like your voice went fucking 3 octaves higher.
Taco!
he climbed him. Like sounded like fucking like a character in Tintin or some shit.
Yeah, cartoon. I'm a cartoon.
I'm a cartoon character. But
excited.
Enough of the fucking AllStar Freakend, because that's very heavily reported on.
Well, here's the problem. Here's
3
the
days
problem.
Late.
There's been no fucking game since.
Yeah, but my thing, a thought experiment we can do. I was gonna present you with this. Because now it's like the AllStar Game's like the halfway point of the season. So going into the second half of the season, what teams from the first half, like good or bad, do you think are gonna play out differently in the second half? You know what I mean? So like what teams sucked that you think are gonna do better? What teams did good that you think are gonna do worse?
Okay, so I don't want to shit on the Jazz, but
yeah,
the only reason I say they're going to do worse is because they've done impossibly good.
Yeah, it's hard to keep
there's
up
no
that.
way they can keep that up. I don't think.
Well, like you look at teams that like the Clippers, like the Lakers, like the Sixers, it's like these teams have superstar players that can kind of carry you through the back half of the season. And I hate to be like Shaq or any of the fucking old bums on TNT and shit, but it's like the Jazz, I guess you could say like it's either Mitchell or Gobert. And like, do you think they're going to be the ones to like that would do something like Kawhi would do, or like Simmons or like Embiid, like LeBron, where they kind of can carry their team to those couple wins where like guys are having off nights and it's like, okay, I guess I just have to go for fucking 38 tonight for us to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I agree where I don't think the Jazz have that, but
they can still do very well, but just not.
Yeah, I think
fucking 800 win percentage.
Well, I think they'll land somewhere in the top 3 in the West. Like it'll be like
exactly
the 2 LA teams and then the Jazz. But actually, I have a stat that I wanted to pull up. Do you have any other teams that you think are going to turn it around?
I'll pull the stat up and give me time to think of something else. One sec.
One way or another? Yeah. Matt has left the podcast. It's what everyone wants. He had to fix his hair. What a diva.
Sorry, it's all on my face and shit.
For the record, everyone, my hair is much longer, and I never have to tussle with it during the podcast.
Your hair is so thick.
Yeah, you look
it
like
just stays.
What's that guy's name from? You look like fucking James Vanderbeek in Dawson's Creek. Here,
yeah,
those fucking
pretty much
old like 80s ass drapes haircut.
I would take his jawline. That would be nice.
Do you have a nice jawline? See, in the day he's a handsome guy.
He still is.
I haven't seen him recently. Unfortunately, have not seen. Oh, actually, I was going to save this for the end of the podcast, but no, I will save it for the end of the podcast. Fuck it. Stat of the day number 79 from @ZachCram. Hang on, what's he doing? He works for the Ringer. Zach Cram, 20K followers. Could we get him on the podcast? Zach Cram, come on the podcast. He. Easiest remaining schedules. As the second half begins tonight, a brief schedule overview. The easiest, number one, or I guess technically 30th in difficulty of season, the Utah Jazz. They have the easiest schedule for the rest of the season.
Oh, are you serious?
So it's like teams that are around or below 500.
Nice.
And then like they do like some kind of factoring with fucking like back-to-backs and bullshit. But yeah, so the top 5 easiest. So Jazz have the easiest. Number 2 is the Mavericks, so they can come up. They can
so then that would be another one. You would expect them to step up more.
Well,
and do
like,
better.
Who the fuck does
they've been not doing?
Who does Luka even have? Like Porzingis is fucking hot and cold. He can't even stay on the court because he's fucking 9 feet tall. And then like the supporting cast is just fucking falling off a cliff, dude. Like who's helping him? Who's
fucking? So he's alone, eh?
Tim Hardaway Jr. is gonna go for 30 or some shit. Like he's an island at the moment.
But just kicking things.
Yeah, technical foul and yeah, that's a good vid. I wish I could. Yeah, fuck it, whatever.
Wish I could just quote that entirely, but I can't.
I wish I could say the N-word, but only to quote that video.
Just one time.
Number 3, the Brooklyn Nets, because don't they fucking need it? They just signed Blake Griffin.
Let's get another guy. Like,
I wouldn't be mad if the Nets win it. Blake gets a ring. He hits free agency next year. Toronto Raptors, baby. Get him in here. We need wing depth.
Just for something else?
Well, just because he's like, he can still, like, people count him out because, like, the Pistons suck dick and, like, his role on the Pistons has been essentially phased out. Like, he only gets, like, he's playing, like, less than 20 minutes a game. You know what I mean? And so, like,
he's still big, right?
No, he'd play the 4. So he'd basically come off the bench behind, like, Siakam or Anunoby. But if he were to join the Raptors. But like people forget, like 2 years ago, he was like an MVP candidate. Like he was like 4th in MVP voting behind like Paul George or some shit.
It's good to have a veteran on your team.
Yeah, and like he's only like 32. He's not like he can still probably play for another like 4 or 5 years. Like it's not like he's fucking like Joe Johnson or Jamal Crawford or some shit. And 4th on the easiest remaining slates is the Miami Heat. I think they are going to come up, unfortunately. They're going to...
Well, like, if last year's postseason was any indication...
That's a big thing a lot of, like, basketball podcasts and shit are saying. They're like, oh, like, no matter where the Heat are in the standings, there's always like, oh, my 3 contenders from the East are the Sixers, Nets, and the Heat. It's like, what? They're fucking below 500. They're like,
what if the Heat don't make the playoffs?
Yeah, what if the Heat just kind of stay where they are? They're like but that's the thing. They could make the play-in tournament, and then they would be trouble for like. I wouldn't want to play the Heat in the first round if it ended up that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, my thing, like Butler has been struggling to stay healthy. Hero hasn't really gotten better this year. And then, like, I don't know, they keep starting Bam at the 4 and Olynyk at the 5. And it's like in the playoffs, Kelly Olynyk cannot be starting in the playoffs.
Well,
got to have Bam at the 5.
Hasn't Hero been playing well?
He's been playing well, but he hasn't, like, you'd expect, like, some kind of momentum from the finals to carry over, you know what I mean?
Well, how old is he? He's still a rookie.
21, 22.
Yeah, so
But,
you gotta
like,
kind of factor that in a bit too.
yeah, I guess that happened with Tatum, where it's like, this guy fucking sucks, and then in his third year, he's just fucking bawling.
Well, that's he benefited from the opposite.
Yeah.
So like people, that'll happen all the time.
Are you being robbed right now?
No, sorry. I thought that doesn't matter. But like I literally thought, oh, so like I'm looking at myself in the screen.
Yeah.
And the window looks like I have this beautiful sunset, but that's just the reflection of the light from my kitchen on my window.
Light. You thought you saw Slender Man in the.
I'm looking. Yeah, I was like, God, that's gorgeous. And I look like, oh, it's not gorgeous. It's just dark.
It looks like fucking dog shit out there. What the hell? But yeah.
But yeah, he like Tatum benefited from people under whatever it's called.
Undervalue. Well, that's
underrating him.
Well, the same thing is happening with me saying Hero isn't getting better. He'll probably just fucking explode next season, and I'll be the jackass. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So he could benefit, but right now he's like, but in the moment you don't benefit from it.
Yeah.
In the moment, it's like you're overrating him right now, going he should be way up here.
Yeah.
And he isn't. What the fuck?
Well, the people did that for Jason Tatum too. They're like, why the fuck isn't he? He was drafted third behind. He realistically should have gone first overall in that draft. Why isn't he continuing to get better, kind of thing?
Right. Like, so
sophomore, he had the sophomore slump, which is literally happens to pretty much everybody. But,
like you benefit from it later. In the moment, you get shit on, but then later it's like, haha.
Yeah, you're
now
so
I'm playing well. Get fucked.
You're so zoomed in on it. It's hard to, see the full. Like you can't see the future, kind of thing. But
the saying is, you can't see the forest through the trees.
Are you a Marilyn Manson fan?
No.
Oh. Moving on.
Why does he say that?
That's in Beautiful People. Can't see the forest for the trees. Can't smell your own shit on your knees. Hey, you, what do you say? That song rocks. I'm not a big, like, what would you even consider? What would you even consider that? Like nu metal?
Yeah, something like that.
Nu metal kind of sucks my dick. But, yeah, so I guess the question of what's going to happen in the second round or second half of the season is Jazz are going to fall off. Heat are probably going to come up. Mavericks are probably going to come up. And the Raptors, they're eyeing that 8th seed, my friend.
I would say just get above 500 for fuck's sake.
Get above 500 for fuck's sake. Trade for probably Mo Bamba for
pissing me off.
Well, that's the thing. No, trade for fucking what's his name, Rashawn Holmes from the Kings. He'd be a nice fit. Or Thaddeus Young from the Bulls. He'd be a nice fit. Just get a fucking competent center so Boucher can keep coming off the bench and we're not fucking back 15 by the time he gets subbed in.
Oh yeah, like the thing to say would be, well, if he's that good, he should be starting. But then you can't have nothing on your bench.
Well, not even that.
So some guys, like, God dang, what do you do?
Some guys excel off the bench. You know what I mean? Like watching.
Yeah, that too.
And then some are the opposite for like Norm. Starter Norm is a fucking superhero, man. We had this guy on the freaking bench this whole time. He's over here he's cooking.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Yeah, but the solution for the Raptors, trade for a competent center that is just even a fucking iota better than what's his name? Aaron Baines. And then
can we just get an average center?
Just get like a normal average. Fucking
That's all I want.
Guy that can eat some minutes. And I was listening to the Ringer podcast on the NBA the other day, and they made a gut-wrenching truth that I did not want to face, but we might have to move on from Kyle Lowry.
Why would you say that?
Because they're like, if they can get a first-round pick, is it Tyrese Maxey? Yeah, Tyrese Maxey, and then they'd have to take on like either Mike Scott or Danny Green just to match salaries. They like that's a win for both teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a win.
But it's like
We're winning.
But my point to that, it's like he's such a franchise guy that you accommodate him. Once it's not just Masai being like, yeah, we're gonna trade you. It'd be like, hey Kyle, how we doing?
You want to get traded or
you want to go home to fucking the kid from Villanova, North Philly's finest? You want to go home and get fucking put out by the Raptors in the second round? Yeah, fuck. Oh, what did you think? Did you see the Myers-Leonard thing?
Oh yeah, apparently he said something real shitty on a stream, and
he said the K slur, which I will not repeat, out of solidarity with our Jewish brothers and sisters. But
rhymes
it's like
with like Mike.
Well, my thing is, why the fuck do these NBA players have Twitch streams? Why is Gordon Hayward playing Call of Duty? Why is Myers-Leonard playing Call of Duty?
Yeah, but then I can get more money.
It's not even. I literally can't even understand the thinking behind it. It's like, what do
you can still actually play the game. You don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have to be on Twitch. You don't have to
stream it. You can just play it.
Well,
enjoy it.
I'm gonna get myself on a public forum where there's no possibility for editing anything. It's just a.
And then I am going to say something not good.
And I'm gonna say, but like, if you watch the video, he's like, "Oh, get out of here, you!" And then like he literally pauses for like full step, and then still says it. It's like, dude, come on, man.
And this guy, do you know this guy happens to be a Jewish person, or?
Well, it's not even that. It's just like,
why are you saying that?
Myers, yeah, it's like, how do you? Well, in his apology, he's like, I didn't know what the word meant. It's like, as a 30-year-old man, why are you saying words you don't know? You know what I mean?
I didn't know the meaning of the word. All I know is that it is bad.
I just said a bad word. I'm a child.
Like, and you know what? I can totally understand not knowing the word because, there might be like slurs. I don't know the origin of the slur.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah, exactly.
You just don't say it.
Yeah, it's a slur. You just...
It's easy. There's 1,000 words.
It's easy.
Pick another one.
You just listen to a podcast where a guy says it and then you laugh at that. You don't say it yourself. You just...
Yeah, exactly. You just go, you know what, buddy? You're a real jerk.
Well, that's the thing.
And you move on.
I'm trying to think of any like heated gamer moment where I've said anything beside bitch or fuck. You know what I mean? Like there's those things like that don't even enter your mind. You know what I mean?
For fuck's sake, yeah.
Ah, son of a bitch.
Say that again. Sorry.
Like those things don't even enter your mind.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That would be the only thing for me that is troublesome about him saying it.
Yeah.
It's like, why is that even in your repertoire?
Yeah, why is that even entering your mind, like amongst your vocabulary?
Why?
Yeah. Well, and then also like he's like one of the only guys who stood for the anthem during like the whole like BLM bullshit, and it's just like, well, he's like he's there like
up.
Well, he's like my brother's in the army, so it's like yeah. So when they fucking press on a guy's windpipe for 9 minutes and kill him, that's like an army thing. This has implications.
Why do they equate those things?
That's the thing. It's like they just like it's like literally just like Blue Lives Matter, like Punisher logo dipshits that are like, oh, all of them are just they're heroes. You have to see these people as heroes. And like I haven't consulted Matt on this. This is getting the podcast stamp. Fuck all cops, veterans. Who else?
Okay, slow down.
Who else can we put in there?
No more people.
Women of color. No, I'm just kidding.
We're not fucking cops.
No, I would like to kill a police officer.
we live in a country that cops are pretty good.
Oh yeah, we live in a country where they just do it to indigenous people, so it's fine. Instead of doing it to black people, they do it to the native Canadians. Yeah, they just excuse me, we have a warrant to, and then they're already fucking putting a bulldozer through, like they haven't even finished speaking.
But yeah, like the fact that you equate guy in the army,
to
guy who basically enforces road rules,
a hall
deals with domestic disputes,
a hall monitor for a town, basically
the road, and then a guy who constantly has a loaded firearm.
A guy with a license to kill, and he uses it constantly on child soldiers and confused, like, low IQ men that have been tricked into being in the army.
And yeah,
those
are the same.
All that being said, if the Heat do release Myers Leonard, we could use his size on the Raptors. We could use him. Just kidding. Do you think if he gets released, do you think he'll end up anywhere?
How could you pick him up?
Well, but that's like, I was thinking that'd be a fun thing, but we're already pretty deep into the episode. We could just do the all problematic team. Actually, we could do it quick. So Myers Leonard would be our 4 for saying the K slur on a Twitch stream. Kristaps would be our center for doing weird sex shit. Terrence Davis is our 2 guard for domestic abusing his girlfriend in New York. There's
3 people.
Derrick Rose is our other guard for the slew of weird sex shit he's done. Okay, we just need a 3. Who's our small forward? Fuck. Or just any forward who's done some fuck shit. Damn. There's probably such an obvious... Real basketball heads are like,
person!
You idiots. If only I had a podcast, they're thinking.
It
ain't that fucking easy, let me tell you.
You know what? If there's 4 people that are problematic in the whole league, it's not too bad.
I'm sure there's more. I'm just fucking blanking on them. But because they just aren't in the league anymore.
Well, that or like, I don't know. There's certain, like, when I'm looking at news and I see stuff like that, I don't really.
Yeah, it's just upsetting.
I don't want to read this. I don't want to make myself sad.
Interacting with this post. Well, I guess Gordon Hayward, for having a mega wife, can be can round out that starting 5.
You're on there because of your wife.
Yeah. Well, he's also. You got to imagine, unless he's just the most in which case he rules. If he's just the most fucking tuned out, like doesn't give a fuck whatsoever husband of all time. She's like, Gordon, put on this hat, and he's like, whatever. It's just a MAGA hat. Who gives
a red hat? It's a red hat.
I don't give a fuck. Because he streams on Twitch as well, so he just loves gaming, and he's gone fucking 8 months out of the year playing basketball. So he's just like, yeah.
Oh, I'm on the road again.
Yeah. Oh,
I thought you're not playing at home. This isn't a home stretch. Oh no, I'm on the road. I'm always on the road.
No, I
never have home stretches.
No, I already I have a pretty solid like Twitch schedule, and like my subs are going up, so I'm trying to keep on it. So
we play 82 games on the road, so
sorry, honey. We're doing the bubble again, and you can't come.
Yeah. Exactly.
She's just like donating like millions of his money to fucking what's the opposite of Planned Parenthood? She's going out and giving actual
condoms with holes in them.
She's going out and giving actual cash to like the people that stand out front with like the signs and shit. I
guess that's kind of the opposite.
I saw a sign that I would want to have it was like an anti like gay sign, and the sign read "Fags are beasts." It's like, that's kind of cool. It's pretty badass.
If you look at beasts in a slightly different way,
Yeah, like they mean
It's
it.
awesome.
Like, they mean it in some weird biblical sense, but I'm taking it in the much cooler way, where it's like, yeah, I'm like a, yeah, I'm,
This man a beast.
this guy's a beast. I'm gonna go beast mode on a man's ass. That's what he's thinking. Oh, but to round out the show, where this is I had fun on this one. To round out the show, to try and reach a more Barstoolian audience, I'm talking to the Stoolies right now. We should start giving out the Babe of the Week award to reach our
Babe of the Week.
Yeah, and it can just be anybody. It doesn't have to be sports related. Although my first pick will be sports related. We'll each give our.
Who's your pick?
My pick for the inaugural first ever Babe of the Week Sports Distraction Award goes to one Elizabeth Cambage from. I don't know if she actually re-signed yet, but she played for the Las Vegas Aces last year. She's, I think, 6'8". She's fucking a goddess. She's beautiful. She's perfect.
I'm looking her up right now.
Yeah, this man ain't even got Instagram, so he doesn't even know. Follow
she all over Instagram?
No, she just she's partnered with Rihanna's lingerie line, the Savage Fenty.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought this was going to be like a joke segment that we were going to do, but then it was just like, well, hang on here.
Is this chick actually hot, or?
She's actually a very good basketball player. She's very intelligent, and she also does DJing. She has a Triple J playlist. I think it's playing today on Triple J station. Check it out and follow, and just please be nice and love Elizabeth Cambage. Who's your pick for? Who's your pick?
Get off. Like an Amazonian, but
you always drop Amazonian, and I think that's peripherally racist. I don't think
racist?
That's
how.
Because it's like a fucking.
It has nothing to do with your race. It's your size.
That sounds like I feel weird saying it. To me, I equate Amazonian to like saying Indian instead of natives. You know what I mean?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just say she a huge bitch.
Yeah. Well, put on Deuce. I'll let Deuce Bigelow do the talking.
Won't be racist. It's not racist.
It's not. She's just.
She big.
That is a big woman. But maybe that's what I like. I'm on record saying 5'11" minimum for a girlfriend. Because my girlfriend and none of her family listens to this, I can say things like that.
Would it be funny to the Babe of the Week be that chick that was lipping LeBron?
I don't know who that is or what she looks like.
She was on the sidelines and they were getting an altercation.
I'm familiar with this. I just don't know what she looks like. Or
she looks like, I don't know. She lives in LA.
She looks like any bitch that was in a movie in 2003.
She has her eyelashes that are like way too fucking big, and
yeah. So yeah, that's getting the big X from me for Babe of the Week. Maybe this Saturday's episode, which we aren't recording tomorrow in advance, you can do a Babe of the Week with potentially a friend of ours.
Okay, I'll try harder this next time.
I
promise.
I'll be thinking
couldn't think of anybody.
I'll be more presently thinking of babes when next episode.
Should have just said fucking Rihanna, who does the Fenty.
Yeah,
crazy hot.
I even said another babe, and you're like, oh, fucking, yeah. She's a big
person runs a clothing line.
She's a big LeBron fan.
Oh my god, yeah, she
loves LeBron.
I'll change my answer.
I didn't say I was a Heat fan. I said I'm a where he at fan, meaning LeBron.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, fuckers, thanks so much for listening to this dog shit. I sincerely appreciate it, even though we have a bit of fun on this goofball. It's just a mess around with my brother and I. I sincerely appreciate you all listening. So please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, follow on Spotify, follow the Twitter and Instagram at sports_pod100. And what else? I'm changing the in the past, I said I would do the 5 beers in 5 minutes challenge if we hit 20 subscribers on YouTube. I don't think I'm going to upload to the YouTube anymore. because it's just.
Oh, really?
It doesn't seem like it's worth it because it's the most time-consuming aspect, and I think going forward we're gonna get like single-digit views on that shit. So I'm sorry to anyone who watches exclusively on YouTube. Get Spotify or the Apple app. I don't know if you can access. I don't know if there's an Android app that I have to try and get it on, but I'll figure that out.
That's our OGs you're talking to there.
That's our friends. Yeah, but you got to grow.
And like this next one could be very beneficial to put on it.
On YouTube?
On YouTube.
But I don't equate YouTube videos as like meaningful anymore. I'd rather people listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. So if you're listening to this now, if you've made it this far into the fucking drivel section of the podcast, stop watching the YouTube. I will not be uploading it there anymore.
And until we get video.
And until we do start doing video content. The next thing to go on the YouTube will be me drinking 5 beers in 5 minutes and puking. When we get to the new quantifier, 100 Twitter followers.
What are we at right now?
27.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
We're a moonshot from that, but hey,
you know what? Like you say, like every other platform has more subscribers on it than YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Prove us wrong by going and subscribing to YouTube.
No, don't
make us dumb.
Don't do that. The YouTube is now disbarred until we start doing video content in the future. But I digress. Follow the Twitter and the Instagram, more so the Twitter. I don't really fuck with the Instagram. Instagram's kind of boring. Twitter, you can just go on and say, what about it's a Vitamix, but for blending up your shit before it goes in the toilet? And then 500 retweets, 7,000 likes.
It's called Shitamix.
Or it's called fucking, and folks, that's why when we made the podcast, I'm like, I got to get Matt in here hitting me with the Shitamix tag.
It's not going to be a clever title. They're dumb.
Vitamix is, I don't know. Fuck it, man. All right. Goodbye.
See ya.